You know that feeling when someone hurts you so deeply that it feels like your whole world has been turned upside down. That heavy weight in your chest, the constant replay of their words or actions in your mind, the sleepless nights wondering why they did what they did. I've been there, we've all been there. And today I want to share something powerful with you. Something that changed my life and might change yours too. Before we begin, I want you to take a deep breath with me. Just one deep conscious breath. Feel the air fill your lungs. Feel your shoulders drop. Because what I'm about to share isn't just another set of quick tips or short-term solutions. This is about deep transformation. This is about taking back your power from those who hurt you. Every day I get messages from people all over the world telling me their stories of betrayal, pain, and heartbreak stories that would break your heart, stories that might sound a lot like your own. And do you know what stands out to me the most? It's not just the hurt. It's what that hurt does to us. But here's the truth that changed my life. The people who hurt us don't hold the key to our healing window. And today I want to show you how to use that key. What if I told you that the way you're dealing with people who hurt you right now might be keeping you stuck in pain? What if I told you that what you believe about emotional pain is actually working against you? I remember standing in my kitchen one morning, hands shaking as I held my coffee, my head full of thoughts about someone who had hurt me deeply. The anger, the pain, the resentment, it was all too much, and in that moment I had a big realization. I was letting them live in my head for free. They hurt me once, but I was hurting myself, again and again, by not knowing how to let go. That moment changed everything for me. And it might change everything for you too. What I'm going to share with you now aren't just ideas from books, they are real steps. I've used myself and taught to thousands of people how we're tired of letting the past decide their present and future. Before we get into these 5 powerful ways to deal with people who hurt you, there's something important. I need you to know this isn't about forgetting what happened. It's not about pretending you're fine, and it's definitely not about letting the other person off the hook. This is something much deeper. It's about taking back your emotional strength. When someone hurts us, they often leave behind a story in our mind, a story about who we are, about trust, about relationships, and about life itself. But here's what's powerful. We may not be able to change what they did, but we do have full control over what we do next. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're holding a hot coal in your hand. It's burning you, hurting you badly. The person who hurt you may have placed it there, but who's holding it now? Who's still letting it cause pain? That's right, we are. And today, we're going to learn how to drop that coal, not for their sake, but for our own peace and power. The first way to deal with people who hurt you is what I call the mirror method. This might sound strange, because it's likely the opposite of what you've been doing. When someone hurts us, our first reaction is to put all our energy on them. What they said, what they did, why they did it. We become emotional investigators, breaking down every move they made. But this is where real change begins. Instead of looking outward, turn your attention inward. This is not about blaming yourself, it's the opposite. It's about understanding your own response. Because while we can't control what others do, can control how we respond. Let me tell you a personal story. I once went through a painful betrayal. At work, someone I trusted tried to ruin everything I'd built. I was filled with anger and thoughts of getting even. I'd wake up and fall asleep thinking about them. They became the center of my life story. And I was just a side character. Then one day, I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back at me. I had lost myself. And that's when I knew something had to change. I was letting them win twice. They hurt me once, but I was hurting myself every day by letting them control my thoughts and emotions. The mirror method is about asking 3 simple but powerful questions. When your mind is full of thoughts about someone who hurt you, first, what am I feeling right now? Not what do I think, but what am I really feeling? Second, what does this situation bring up in me? Third, what would I need right now to feel safe and whole, no matter what they did? These questions help you move the focus from them to yourself. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You begin to see things clearly. But here's where many people stop. They think looking at their own emotions lets the other person off the hook. That's not true. This isn't about them. This is about you getting your emotional freedom back. Here's an example. Let's say someone at your job takes credit for your ideas and gets a promotion you deserved. You feel angry and cheated. But with the mirror method, you'd look inward. You'd notice you feel not just anger but fear about your future, sadness about being overlooked. Maybe it reminds you of old times when you felt unseen. Now ask yourself, what would I need to feel safe? Maybe it's speaking up more, maybe it's setting better work boundaries. Maybe it's finding a place where your work is valued. Do you see how the power shifts back to you? You move from feeling powerless to taking control. This is not about ignoring the pain. It's about turning pain into a path toward growth and strength. The second way to deal with people who hurt you is the alchemist approach. Just like old alchemists believed they could turn metal into gold, you can turn pain into power. This isn't just about thinking positive. It's about taking real steps that change how you see your pain. Think of it this way. Every time someone hurts you, they give you a chance to become emotionally stronger. It's like lifting weights at the gym. The heavy weights hurt at first, but they build your muscles. The same is true for emotional pain. I learned this when I hit a very low point in my life. I felt hurt and betrayed, but I started asking new questions instead of why me. I asked, what can I learn from this? Instead of how could they do this, I asked, how can I become stronger from this? And everything started to change. Each painful memory became a lesson. Each betrayal helped me see where I needed better boundaries. Each disappointment showed me what I truly value. Try this. Next time someone hurts you, grab a notebook or open a notes app. Write down what happened and how you feel. Then draw a line down the middle of the page. On one side, list how this situation is hard on the other. Write what strengths you can gain from it. For example, if someone broke your trust, the challenge is now trust issues. The possible strength could be learning to set better boundaries, or trust your own gut, or stay open, but more aware. This isn't about ignoring the pain. It's about choosing not to let pain be the end of your story. It's about saying, yes, this hurt me, but I'm going to grow because of it. The third way to deal with people who hurt you is what I call the freedom framework. This may be the most unexpected approach, but it's incredibly powerful. It starts with a simple truth: holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. The freedom framework is about letting go of that resentment, not for them, but for you. This doesn't mean you have to forgive them right now or bring them back into your life. It means releasing yourself from the prison of pain. Think of resentment like a heavy backpack filled with rocks. You're carrying it around everywhere you go. The person who hurt you has likely moved on, but you're still carrying the weight. Here's what you do first. Ask yourself, what is this resentment costing me? How is it affecting my relationships, my sleep, my peace? Be honest. Then, make a freedom list. Write down what your life could look like if you let go. What would you do? How would you feel? What would open up for you? This isn't about pretending you're fine. It's about choosing peace over pain. It's about realizing the best revenge is not letting someone's actions control your emotions. The fourth way to deal with people who hurt you is what I call the boundary revolution. Now we move from internal work to taking real action. But it's not about building walls to keep everyone out. It's about creating space where you can feel safe and grow. Good boundaries aren't about pushing people away. They're about staying true to yourself. Here's something important. The people who hurt you often show you exactly where you need better boundaries. Each time someone crosses a line, that's your signal. But many people set boundaries when they're angry or hurt. They say things in the heat of the moment, or shut people out completely. The boundary revolution is about calm, clear, respectful boundaries. It starts by creating what I call a boundary blueprint. That means writing down what you will and won't accept. Not to control others, but to protect your own peace. For example, if someone keeps dismissing your feelings, your boundary might be, I need my feelings to be respected in conversations. If they're not, I'll leave the conversation and talk again when we can speak kindly. It's not about telling them what to do. It's about deciding what you'll do. That's the key difference, and it puts the power back in your hands. The fifth and final way to deal with people who hurt you is the Phoenix Protocol. This is about rising stronger after being hurt. Like the mythical phoenix, you rise from the ashes, more powerful than before. This isn't just about healing. It's about transforming, turning your greatest pain into your greatest wisdom. Each time someone hurts you, a crack opens in your world, but instead of hiding that crack, you let light in. This approach has 3 steps: recognition, reconstruction, and rebirth. First, recognize what happened, but also who you were when it happened. What beliefs or patterns made the pain possible. This is about honest reflection. Not blame, then comes reconstruction. Here you start to rebuild yourself. You ask, what do I believe about love, about people, about myself? Are those beliefs true? Are they helping me or holding me back? Finally, comes rebirth. This is where you decide who you want to be moving forward, not in spite of the pain, but because of it. I've seen people use the Phoenix Protocol to turn betrayal into deep self-respect, to turn loss into purpose, to turn setbacks into success. And remember, this is not something you do just once. Life will test you again, and each time, you rise stronger. Now, as we close, I want you to understand this. These 5 ways aren't just tips. They're tools for turning pain into power. They help you move from being hurt to becoming whole. Remember this, you are not just someone who was hurt. You are someone who knows how to rise, someone who turns pain into wisdom, someone who owns their story. In our next time together, we'll dive deeper into how to use these tools in specific situations. But for now, choose one of these approaches to start with. Maybe it's the mirror method, maybe the freedom framework. Whichever you choose, know this. The person who hurt you may have written one chapter, but they don't get to write your ending. That power belongs only to you.